Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranam.
Enough, Ram. Should we start?
Yes, Prabhuji. Just a quick uh, intro, not intro. We have already given, so a quick announcement. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, continuing the Nectar series, as we have promised to have another class of His Grace Rukmini Krishna Prabhu. So, Prabhuji is here to again fill us with the Nectarian Krishna Katha, with the Katha of Bhagavatam, to continue this series. So hope you, as you enjoyed yesterday, will also have the nectar today also. So without delaying, so we will start. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet nashtaprayeshu bhadreshu nityam bhagavad sevaya bhagavati uttam shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nandagopkumaraya govindaya namo namaha ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साधुवैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभयेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे Hare Krishna. So thank you very much and welcome all of you. It's very enthusing to see all of you showing so much interest in hearing Sri Bhagavatam, and I wish you all the best. And may all of us develop real taste for studying, discussing, and propagating the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. When Srila Prabhupada was going abroad, his godbrothers asked him, Swamiji, are you going to Western countries? Are you going abroad? Srila Prabhupada said, no, I am not going. Srimad Bhagavatam is going. Srila Prabhupada waited for so long, 42 years, for fulfilling the desire of his spiritual master, because he wanted this mission. The foundation of this mission should be based on the Srimad Bhagavatam. So he had nothing with him, only the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Prabhupada had so much of faith in Srimad Bhagavatam. When the Jaltut stopped at Boston, so Prabhupada came out and Prabhupada saw the city of the Boston, and Prabhupada was surprised. So much of passion and ignorance. And Prabhupada was thinking how these people will understand my message. For a little while, Prabhupada got depressed. But again, he had so much of faith in the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada started reciting the shlokas from the first canto to second word. Shanotam, Shota Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, Hidyastva Bhadrani Vidnoti Smritstam, Nashtapraya Shubhadreshu, Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya. Prabhupada had so much of faith. Yes, by hearing this message, they'll come over there, Rajagun and Tamagun, and they'll come to Satagun, and gradually they will also get the love of God. So that was Prabhupada's faith in the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. And we all know how Prabhupada, converted all those hippies into Shuddha Vaishnavas. So we should have this much of faith in the Bhaktivedanta purports. Prabhupada said, my purports are my devotional ecstasies. Now, Srimad Bhagavatam is a ripened fruit of all the Vedas. Nigam kalpatro garitam phalam sukh mukhadam mrigadrava sanyutam. And all the Vedas are meant to show us, to tell us the purpose of our real purpose of our life. So, Srimad Bhagavatam not only shows us the purpose of our life, but also shows us the path to that purpose. How to attain love of Godhead. Okay. Right in the beginning, in the second verse, Srimad Bhagavatam declares what it has, what it doesn't have. Dharma projito kaitavat paramo nirmat saranam satam. It doesn't have any cheating religion. Cheating religion means what? False hope of finding happiness in this material. The so-called religions, Karm Kant, Gyan Kant, they promise you do this, you will go to the heavenly planets, you will enjoy. So Srimad Bhagavatam right in the beginning declares, no, nothing of this is discussed in Srimad Bhagavatam. So, and they said this Srimad Bhagavatam is compiled in the mature stage of the Vyasadeva. So after Narad Muni told Vyasadeva that you are not sufficiently and properly describe the glories of the Supreme Lord, that's why you're not feeling satisfied. If the creator, if the writer of the scripture is not feeling satisfied, how will the readers will feel satisfied? I know. So then Vyasadeva edited this Srimad Bhagavatam, and then it is said, Dharma Pojito Ketavat Paramo Saranam Sata. Okay. So now, today we'll be discussing about the life of Jada Bharat. And it is very, very instructive story. Very, very instructive. Lots of teachings. And you all of must be aware of the story of Jada Bharat. We know this. The name Bharat came from this Bharat Maharaj only. Before that, this land was known as Ajnab. Okay. Now, sorry, the King Bharat was a royal king. He had all the opulences, but in his young age, he gave up all his wife, family, children, his palace, and went to the forest. He was at the stage of bhav. And you know what happened? He got attached to a deer. What a surprising thing. A deer, small deer, an animal. And he saw a deer, helpless deer, in a condition. That deer's mother had died, and the deer was all alone, helpless in the forest. And Bharat Maharaj thought, no one will be able to take care of him. No one will be able to take care of him. So I should take care of him. Because Bharat Maharaj is a Kshatriya. Kshatriya is the Kshatriya spirit ignited in him. Yes, I should take care. No one is there to take care of me. This deer is completely dependent upon me. If I want to take care of this deer, this deer will die. This poor living entity won't survive. So I have to take care of this deer. So he got so much absorbed in taking care of the deer that he forgot his sadhana. Srila Prabhupada writes, he willfully neglected his spiritual practices. Willfully neglected his spiritual practices, Like he was performing some ritual and some deer is there. Again and again, his all attention was going to the deer. So for him, the material welfare of the deer became more important than his own spiritual welfare. This is how Maya attacks, Maya has different kind of nets for different kind of living entities. Most of us are get distracted by Maya by the means of lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, etc. But here, Maya trapped Bharat Maharaj by the weapon of compassion. He was feeling compassionate. I should be taking care of this deer, And it's the compassion Prabhupada said was misplaced. The real compassion for any living entity is, to elevate his spiritual consciousness. Bharat Maharaj couldn't understand how much care I may take of this deer. I cannot make him a devotee. Because he's an animal. He's in the animals. This living entity is in the animal body. And although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he went to Jharkhand, he made all the deers and the tigers also dance and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But Bharat Maharaj's intention was not that. His only intention was how to take care of this deer. This deer should not die. This is poor deer without his mother. So I am only one to take care. So in a way, Bharat Maharaj was assuming the role of a god. There's no one else to take care of this deer except me. So I have taken the responsibility of protecting this deer. Even if I have to neglect my spiritual life, I will do that. He was having that kind of impression. This is how Maya distracts us. So we need not worry. For us, we need not go to the forest to get trapped with a deer. We all have this smartphone, our dear phone. So when we are chanting, also we open what's in the WhatsApp. But when you are reading, also this phone is there. So we also get distracted, and we also willfully neglect our sadhana. Willfully neglect our sadhana. So it's very important. Bharat Maharaj was at a stage of at the stage of bhav. Prem Ankur. The prem was fructifying. The love of God was fructifying at such a high stage. Still, because he was not alert, he had to fall down. Technically speaking, it is not a fall down. Our Acharya Vishnu Chakravarti says, when gets distracted from devotional service, there are two reasons. Number one is offenses, and second is by the will of the Lord. So in the Bharat Maharaj case, it was the will of the Lord. Why? To show all of us, to set an example. Spiritual life has to be very careful. When we are performing spiritual Krishna consciousness in this material world, we have to be very careful. That's said in Hindi, Savdhani hatis, durghatna ghati. If you're not attentive, we'll meet in an accident. Okay? Shurasya dhara. The spiritual life is just like walking on the edge of a razor. One has to be very careful. Very alert. Okay? So that's how Bharat Maharaj, he got so much absorbed in the thoughts of the deer. Always he was thinking of the deer. Where is he? Where is he? He used to kiss that deer, fondle with the deer, sleep with the deer, always thinking of the deer, and he forgot Krishna. He forgot Krishna. He got distracted. Okay. Now, when he got distracted, and once deer disappeared, and he got in a lot of anxiety. Where the deer has gone? Maybe some wild animal has eaten him. So he was searching for the deer, and searching. He fell down and left his body. Okay, and Krishna says in Bhagavad Yam Vapi Sranvapam Tam Tam Eviti Konte Sada Tad Bhava Bhavita. And in the next life, he got the body of a deer. Now, someone may say, isn't Krishna too harsh? Bharat Maharaj, such a nice devotee, and he was treated in such a manner that he was given the body of a deer. And Krishna also declares in Bhagavad Gita, Nahi avrikam nashyasti pratyavayana vidyate swalpavasya dharmasya trayate meheto bhayat. Even if one has performed a slight devotional service, he is saved from the greatest of the danger. And what is the greatest of the danger? To go down to the lower species of life. Okay. So why Krishna gave this deer's body to Bharat Maharaj? So our acharyas explain, Krishna became so harsh on Bharat Maharaj to intensify his longing for Krishna, to intensify his love for Krishna. And this deer was not an ordinary deer. When the Bharat Maharaj got the body of a deer, he became the deer Bharat. He remembered his past life, how he slipped down. And he never used to mingle with other deers. He always used to go to the ashram of the saints and used to hear Harikatha. So in a way, the spiritual consciousness of the deer Bharat was higher than the king Bharat. Although this Bharat Maharaj was in the body of a deer, his consciousness was higher than when he was the king. This is how Krishna protects. Konte pati jana hi name bhakta pranashyati. Although he was punished with the body of a deer and an animal, but Krishna ensured that his spiritual journey continues, and he is continuously advancing in his consciousness. Okay. So this deer also left his body, and he got birth in a family of a Brahmana. And then he became Jad Bharat, third life, Jad Bharat. Okay. Now Jad Bharat, his father was very fond of him. He is from the first wife, he had 9 sons. From the second wife, he has Jad Bharat. But this Jad Bharat, now he was remembering his past 2 lives. That in the previous life, I was a deer. Why I became deer? Because I got attached to a deer. Before that, I was king, and I had reached up to the stage of Bhav. And now I'm in this born in a Brahman family. Then Jad Bharat decided, no chances. Now, once bitten, twice shy. Now I won't take any chances of dealing with this material world. Jad Bharat started acting like a deaf and dumb person. Number one, fool. You know, his father used to teach him some rituals. You are a Brahman, you should know how to do Achman. Jad Bharat used to behave like this that he could not understand what is Achman. He used to do everything in a reverse order. He even showed like behavior in such a way that he didn't even know how to pass stool. Before evacuating, he used to wash his hands, not after evacuation. So everyone was fed up. Now, how to train this person? But Janvarata used to behave like this so that people should become totally hopeless and I should have nothing to do with this material world so that I remain totally focused on the thoughts of Krishna. Now I won't take any chance. Enough. I don't want to take any chance. I should remain totally focused. Let the people think whatever they are thinking. I'm not bothered. He's a fool, he's a rascal, he's a dumb, he's a mad. Let them say. I know what I am and I'm just focused on thoughts of Krishna. You see, we should not just copy the behavior of Jad Bharat. And now we start behaving like this. No, I don't want to deal with this. And we start behaving like a madman. But we should try to understand the principle. How much alert we should be in our Krishna consciousness and how much careful we should be in dealing with this material world. How much careful, very, very careful. Asat sang tyagai Vaishnavachar. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked, how to recognize a Vaishnava. Mahaprabhu replied, Asat sang tyag. One who has given up this material association, he is a Vaishnava. What is the material association? Isti Sangi Eka Sadhu Krishna Bhakt Ar. Isti Sangi means one who is too much attached to opposite sex, and Abhakt, one who is an atheist, and one who is Mayavadi. These are 3 types of materialistic association we should give up. No? So, but we all are continuously dealing in the material world. We go to offices, we do business, we go to schools, colleges. So we should ensure that we don't get influenced by their mentality. Rather, we should influence their mentality. And we should know our limits. We should know our limits. In the name of preaching, if we go we play the game of kabaddi. Kabaddi, 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 kabaddi. A person goes to the other side. If he can control his breath, he can bring all the people to his side. If he's a powerful person. But if one is not a powerful person, he'll go and immediately come back to save himself. Okay. But if a person is very weak, he cannot control his breath and just goes deep into the other side, kabaddi, 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 and he gets trapped. Similarly, when going out for preaching in the material world, we should know what are my limits, and immediately come back. Gradually, when my capacity to preach will increase, I'll don't go deep and bring all the people on this side. Like Srila Prabhupada went all alone, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Prabhupada started this movement in the Tomskill Square Park. For 3 hours, Prabhupada was chanting. When he opened his eyes, saw all around hippies dancing with him. And when Prabhupada started walking out, all the hippies after him, followed him. Just out kabaddi, kabaddi, kabaddi. Bring all the people to his side, to his storefront. But we cannot copy. Okay. Once the disciples asked Prabhupada, can we go to the nightclub to distribute books? Prabhupada said, okay, but ensure that you come back. So, only way to counter being influenced by the material association is preaching. Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh, amar agya guru hoi tare desh. Srila Prabhupada writes, this is the only way to save ourselves from the contamination of this material world. But at the same time, when we are doing Jare Dekho Tare Kaho, we should be careful. Am I getting influenced by them or I am influencing them? So one should be very, very careful. Everyone has his own security zone. Lakshman Rekha. Everyone knows what are my limitations. So one should not just imitate others and take unnecessary risks. Okay. So Bharat Maharaj was extremely careful, vigilant. I won't do. Let the people say whatever they want to say. This life I won't waste. Now I have to go back to Godhead. So he was extremely careful. So his father died. Then his stepbrothers started treating him very, very cruelly. What they used to give him to eat, whatever the rice is left on the pot after everyone has eaten, the rice which is stuck on the pot, it will become black. So they used to give him that. But Maharaj, no objection. He used to eat that also, and very satisfied too, because he had no need of his body. He was totally disconnected from the material concept of life. So once he was sitting like this, so some dacoits came. The dacoits, they were the worshippers of goddess Kali. And they had their own concocted religion. Swadhin, it is written. They wanted to sacrifice some person, some man who is just like an animal for the prayer of goddess Kali, so that their stealing becomes more effective. And the person they had brought before Kali, he had run away. So they were in search of a person. Everything was ready for the sacrifice, but the person was not available. Whom they will cut, whom head they will cut. So they saw Bharat Maharaj. He's so healthy person, fat, stout, healthy. Oh, this is the right person. So they caught him. And Bharat Maharaj did not protest. Completely dependent on Krishna. Let it be. Even if this way I have to leave my body, let it be. So they brought him before the altar of goddess Kali. The head priest was ready just to cut his head. And when he was about to cut his head, goddess Kali could not tolerate. How can they offend a great Vaishnav like Jada Bharat? So goddess Kali came out of her deity form, and with all different kind of weapons in her hands, she chopped off the heads of all the dacoits. She played football with their heads, and all the blood from their dacoits she gave to all her associates, Pishachani. They had a good time drinking the bloods of all the dacoits. So this shows us that all the demigods also, instead of their own devotees, they favor the Vaishnavas. Because goddess Kali is also a Vaishnavi. So how could she tolerate that these dacoits were offending a Param Vaishnav? So she saved Bharat Maharaj. This way, Bharat Maharaj once again sitting in his farm. His brothers had given this duty of doing not watchman duty for their farms, for their agricultural farms. So he was just sitting there. So there was a king, King Rahugana, from the state of Sauvir. He was going to hear Bhagavad Katha in the Kapil Ashram, and he was being carried on a palanquin. So one of the person has left. So they needed one person to lift the palanquin. Three persons were there, one more person was required. So they saw, oh, this person, very healthy. Yeah, he'll be a right person. So without any hesitation, hey, come. That's right, he's a low class man. Come. You have to lift the palanquin of a king, our king. Bharat Maharaj did not say anything. Okay, no problem. Started lifting the palanquin. But when he was walking, he saw some ants on the way. So Bharat Maharaj, being a Vaishnava, was so compassionate that I should not hurt any living entity. So he was trying to protect the ants, and he was jumping like this. The other three carriers, they are Shudras, they are not bothered who is getting killed or not. So they were just walking straight. But Bharat Maharaj was trying to protect the ants. So the palanquin was, going like this. So King Rahugana got disturbed. What's happening? Why are you not carrying this palanquin properly? So the other three people said, this new person has come. He doesn't know how to carry the palanquin. Apparently, he's such a healthy, stout person, but doesn't know how to carry the palanquin. So Rahugana got very disturbed. He saw Jad Bharat. And very sarcastically, he said these comments. Oh, it seems you have got tired, you have got tired because you are carrying this palanquin all alone for such a long time. And you are so skinny and thin. Oh, I can understand. So he was like sarcasm. So Bharat Maharaj didn't say anything. He continued. Bharat Maharaj, because he was used to it, that people used to call him different things. But when Bharat Maharaj did not respond, and again he was walking like this, trying to save the ants, this time King Ravana got very angry. Passion, mode of passion ignited in him. I said, you rascal, you fool, you crazy person. You don't know. You don't know. I am the king. You are my servant. Are you dead? You know, are you dead? And if you don't carry this palanquin properly, I'll punish you. Then Ravana said like this. Then Jad Bharat thought, this king is going to Kapil Ashram for hearing Bhagavad Katha. That means he has interest in self-realization. But because he thinks he is a king, he's overcome by the mode of passion. So I should show him the right way. So he became compassionate and he started speaking. He didn't respond to those dacoits when they were about to kill him because Jad Bharat realized they're in the mode of ignorance. They won't understand. He didn't respond to his brothers who were maltreating him. They also won't understand. But he thought this king, he should be preached because the king is interested in self-realization. Because he is a king, he gets overcome by mode of passion. So I should tell him the right path. Okay. And then, Jad Bharat started speaking very philosophically. He said, Acha, you said that are you dead or are you tired? How can a soul be tired? I am not carrying the palanquin. I am the soul. So how can I be tired? And then you said, are you dead? How can I die? I'm a living entity. And then you said, I am the master. You are the servant. You are master. This is a temporary designation. Today you are master. Tomorrow you can be the servant. Then you said, I'll punish you. Okay. You will punish me. You see, I'm a self-realized person. Even if you punish me, no problem. And if you think I'm a crazy person, even then if you punish me, no problem. When no one has heard such kind of answers. Just imagine you have a servant in your office or a maid servant. You chastise that servant and the servant responds like this, Today you are master, tomorrow you can be servant. Or who is getting tired? I am not this body, I am the soul. So Ravana was surprised. This crazy person, he's answering like this. He's not an ordinary man. Immediately he got down from the palanquin and, with folded hands, he said, you are not an ordinary man. You are just roaming around on this earth like a madman. You have certain purpose in your life. So please forgive me. And he says very, very nice verse. I'll share with you. It is in the 5th canto, 10th chapter, verse number 18. Okay. Naham vishankaya suraraj vajran na taryaksha shulana yamasya dandat Nagni ark soma nilvitap vitap astrash shanke vrisham brahma kula vamanat. He said, my dear sir, I am not at all afraid of the thunderbolt of King Indra. Naham vishanke suraraj vajrat, because Indra's weapon is vajra. Suraraj. Suraraj means Indra. Vishanke means afraid. So I am not at all afraid of the thunderbolt of King Indra, nor I am afraid of the serpentine, piercing trident of Lord Shiva. Naha trashank shulat Na yamasya dandat. I do not care about the punishment of Yamraj, the superintendent of death. Nor I am afraid of fire, scorching sun, moon, wind, or other weapons, nor the weapons of Kuber. Yet, I am afraid of offending a Brahmana. I am very much afraid of this. Shanke Bhrisham Brahmakul Avamanat. No? This should be the mentality for all of us, because Lord Chaitanya has also said to offend a Vaishnav is like a mad elephant offense. Okay? So, one should not judge any Vaishnav from his externals. Rahula judged Bharat Maharaj, Jad Bharat, from an externals. He's like a fool, dumb person. And why he's behaving like this? But when he spoke, then he realized, oh, he's a very elevated personality. It is also said, Vachanam Khyati Sheelam. When we speak, our words describe our character. You know, when Ravana went to kidnap Sita, he was dressed like a sannyasi. But when he spoke, Sita could identify he is not a good sannyasi. So when we speak, that shows our character. Okay. So then Rahugana was very repentant. He begged forgiveness. He said, I was really illusioned by mode of passion. So please forgive me. You are a very elevated personality. Okay. So I'm not afraid of Vajra of Indra, trident of Shiva, or the punishment of Yamaraj, or the other weapons of Kuber, but I'm very much afraid of offending a Vaishnava, a Brahmana. You see, devotees are fearless. Bajahu re manashi nandanandan, abhaya charana arvindare. Devotees are fearless, but devotees should be very, very fearful of offending a Vaishnava. And similarly, Jadbharata also saying devotee should be very, very fearful of dealing with Maya. One should not take Maya very lightly. Srila Prabhupada used to say, I have only one complaint with my followers. They don't take Maya seriously. So these two kind of fears of devotee, a practicing sadhak should have. Okay. So Rahugana begged forgiveness. You see, the more we are elevated in our consciousness, the sooner we will realize we have committed an offense. Okay. And more we are not, gross in our consciousness, we won't even realize we have misbehaved with the devotee. Okay. So Raghunatha realized and he begged forgiveness. And then he said, your answers are highly philosophical. You said that I am not getting tired because I am not this body. But you say, when you take rice and you boil the rice in a pot, so the pot is there on the fire, and within the pot, there's a water and there's a rice, and rice are getting boiled. Now, rice is getting boiled, and the container of the rice is the pot. The pot is also getting heated. Similarly, in this body, there is a soul. So, the rice are getting affected, the pot is getting affected. Similarly, the body is getting affected, so the soul will also get affected. Would you understand? The pot is getting heated up. Because the pot is getting heated up, the rice is getting boiled. Similarly, soul is in the body. When the body is getting tired, the soul will also get tired. So he said like this. So Bharat Maharaj said, no, it doesn't apply to me. For self-realized souls, they're completely beyond the three modes of nature. They're totally detached from the bodily conception of life. So they are free from all these bodily defects, hunger, thirst, fatigue. They don't feel like this. Okay. So, and then Bharat Maharaj said, then he said, there is a punishment, servant and master. If the servant is not behaving properly, I have to punish. Then Bharat Maharaj said, all these bodies, body of a king, body of a servant, they are nothing but made of earth. Mitti, made of earth. And these bodies go back to earth. So there is nothing. Very philosophically answers he gave. So when he heard all these things, so then Bharat Maharaj started giving instructions. There are 3 chapters where Jad Bharat gives instructions to uh, King Rahugana. So you can read these chapters, chapter 10, 11, 12. You know, very nice instructions. And then, Bharat said, the main cause of our, our living entities entanglement in this material world is mind. Okay. Because his mind is attached with three modes of nature, we are getting repeated, we are getting caught in the, we are getting entangled in this cycle of birth and death again and again, again and again. So what we have to do? We have to bring this mind above the three modes of nature. That he describes how we should treat our mind. Okay. So there's a nice by a very nice verse I'll share with you. It is one sec. This verse is 5:11:17. Okay. One sec. Hare Krishna. 5:11:17. Very famous verse. भ्रातव्य एनम तद अदभ्रवीर्यम उपेक्षयाध्यात्म अप्रमत्ता गुरोर्हरेश्चरणापुष्चरेण उपासना अस्त्रो जहि व्यलीकम स्वयं आत्ममोषम. He said, Bhratavya enam tat adabhra viryam. Adabhra viryam means very, very powerful. Enam means this mind. Bhratravya, the uncontrolled mind, is the greatest enemy of the living entity. If one neglects it or gives it a chance, it will grow more and more powerful and will become victorious. Although it is not factual, it is very strong. It covers the constitutional position of the soul. O king, please try to conquer this mind by the weapon of service to the lotus feet of the spiritual master and the supreme personality of Godhead. Do this with great care. So Prabhupada describes in the purport, there is no one easy weapon with which the mind can be conquered, that is neglect. The mind is always telling us to do this or that. Therefore, we should be very, very expert in disobeying the mind's orders. Okay. So if we neglect the mind, hear carefully, if we neglect the mind becomes extremely powerful. If our mind takes us to one thought and we start focusing on the thought will become very powerful. It will overwhelm us. Oh, that person has misbehaved with me. We keep on thinking like this. That person has misbehaved. That person has misbehaved. That person has misbehaved. It creates so much of negativity within me. But if we just neglect this thought, that person has misbehaved, nothing. Don't take it seriously. Gone. It's gone. So if you neglect the thought, the mind becomes very, very powerful. Although it is not factual, but it forces us to do bad things and we get entangled. So that's why, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj used to say, every day morning when we get up, we beat the mind 100 times with our shoes. And when we go to sleep, we again beat the mind 100 times with the broom. What does it mean, beating the mind? That means not to follow its instructions. Not to follow its instructions. Neglect it. Then what should do? Tell the mind, instruct the mind to follow the instructions of spiritual master. What is the astra, weapon for dealing with the mind? Harir Guru Upasana, worshipping Guru and Hari. That is a weapon for dealing with mind. What we do, we neglect this weapon, we neglect the Upasana of Hari and Guru, and we hear to the dictates of mind. When, as long as we are hearing the dictates of mind, we'll get trapped in this material world. We'll remain trapped in this material. Okay. Then again, he gives a lot of instructions. You can read this section. It's very nice. This is how Bhagavatam helps us. Bhagavatam helps us to realize, to analyze our problems. Sometimes we get so much on the mental platform and we start thinking so much of negative things. So we get distracted. At that time is a time we should remember this is all temporary things. And this is not factual. Mental platform is that which does not exist. Everything is illusory. Don't take this illusory world very seriously. You know, reality is what? Chanting the holy name and serving the Vaishnavas. We should keep our focus on these two things. That's what Bhagavatam is giving us this message. Then he says, how can we realize God? How can we realize Krishna? Then he says, not possible by austerities. One beautiful verse I to share with you. 5:12:12. He says, Raghunath, just show you. Raghunath eta tapsa na yati na cha ijya nirvapanat grhatva na chandasa naiva jalagni suryo vina mahatpad rajo abhishekam. Hey Raghunath, we cannot get this spiritual realization by tapasya unless one has the opportunity to smear his entire body with the dust of the lotus feet of a great devotee. One cannot realize the absolute truth. One cannot realize the absolute truth simply by observing celibacy, strictly following the rules and regulations of household life, living home as a vanprasth, accepting sannyas, or undergoing severe penances in winter by keeping oneself submerged in water, or surrounding oneself in summer by fire, or the scorching heat of the sun. There are many other processes to understand the absolute truth, but the absolute truth is only revealed to one who has attained the mercy of a great devotee. Not tapsa, neither by tapasya, neither by leaving the home, neither by following the Vedic rituals, neither by surrounding oneself in the winter with cold water. Vina mahatpad rajobhishekam, until unless we smear our body, our head with the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee, we won't be able to realize the absolute truth. This is how Bharat Maharaj is instructing. And you see why Bharat Maharaj, fell down apparently. It is said, Prabhupada gives in one of the purports, because he did not consult his guru. He was not in the association of devotees. Okay. It's very, very important. And now Jada Bharat is saying we can be successful in our spiritual life only when we always remain in the association of devotees, in the mood of a servant. Taking the dust of the lotus feet of Vaishnava means serving the devotees, following their instructions. Okay. So Jada Bharat is telling by realizations. We cannot have King Bharat did everything, left home, performed all kind of austerities. But because he was all alone, not in the association of devotees, when he was getting distracted, there was no one to tell him, Bharat Prabhu, what are you doing? Why are you getting attached to an insignificant deer? Not so much compassion is not required. Once you have saved the deer's life, enough. Leave it now and focus on your spiritual practices. No one was there. He was all alone. And he assumed certain things. By taking care of this deer, I'm doing a very nice thing. So there was not. So he says, until and unless we are in the association of devotees, we follow their instructions, we cannot realize the absolute truth. Then Jada Bharat gave instructions about this material world. In 13th chapter, he says, the forest of material enjoyment. Just to bring renunciation. You see, like I said, this episode tells us what kind of mistake we can commit on the spiritual path and how should we remain alert. And also, to become more alert in our dealings with the material world, Jada Bharat describes the nature of this material world in a figurative manner, in an allegorical story. He said there's one merchant and he enters the forest to get some wood so that he'll sell this wood in the city and make money. So this forest is compared to this material world. And when he enters the forest, there can be many plunderers, robbers. These plunderers and robbers are compared to our uncontrolled senses. And some of the plunderers are out of our relatives, our family people, or relatives who are very exploitive. Some of the family members are very exploitive. They have relationship with us only to get some benefit from us. So they are plunderers. Okay. And then in this forest fire, there are some ghosts. In this forest, there are some ghosts. And who are those ghosts? Ghosts are our material desires. We have so much material desires, we act like we are ghosted. We are haunted by a ghost. And then there are owls in this material world, in this forest. These owls are compared to politicians who extract taxes from us. Then this forest, there are some pious trees, there are impious trees. Impious trees are those wealthy people. They have wealth, but they don't give any charity. Okay, they are like impious trees. Then this forest, there's a mirage. This mirage is compared to sense gratification. No, false hopes of sense gratification. We'll be happy by enjoying our senses. Then this forest, there's dust which blinds the eyes. These are our desires for illicit sex. It blinds us. Then there's a forest fire. This forest fire is like the household life without Krishna consciousness. You know, so such kind of analogies are given, and Prabhupada has given very, very strong purpose. So just to, you know, uh, kill our uh, false hopes of enjoying this material world. You know, sometimes we have very romantic ideas in this material world. We'll together enjoy this material world is like this, it's a dream, nothing. So there's nothing in this material world. It's only a dukhalayam, you know. It's only a false promises of happiness. So to progress in spiritual life, we should have this pessimistic view of material world. It's not pessimism, it's rather optimism. You know, it's knowledge. You know, once there was an English poet, he was asked, anyway, I think I'll be going out of the way. So that way, we should have a real picture of this material world. Okay, so that we should not have any false hopes, so that we can focus all our energies on advancing in spiritual life. The human form of life is very, very rare. We have very short time. So short time, so much to do. So we can't afford to waste time. We can't afford to get distracted. We have to remain very focused. So this episode is telling us we should always remain the association of devotees. We should not trust our mind. We should be very, very alert. And if you are showing compassion, so the compassion should not be misplaced. The compassion should be to elevate the spiritual consciousness of this person. And Jad Bharat is also showing us that he remembered his past two lives. And he remembered how he committed mistake. We don't remember our past lives, but at least we should remember what were we before we came to Krishna consciousness. Very, very important. We should never forget what I was when I was not in the association of devotees, what kind of misconceptions I had, what kind of sinful life I was leading. So I will always remain grateful and careful that I should not fall back again to that life. You know, I was down, so much down. What kind of life I was living? I was sure to go to hell. These devotees, Srila Prabhupada, have saved me. So I should remain very, very alert. This bhakti, this association of devotees should not slip away from my hand. You know? So Maya has many tricks. Maya will test us. So we should remain very, very alert. That way we can achieve the purpose of life. That's how Srimad Bhagavatam is teaching us. And Nityam Bhagavat Sevya. If we daily hear Srimad Bhagavatam, daily study Srimad Bhagavatam, will remain focused. In third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is an episode when Brahma is doing the creation, and Brahma creates his daughter Vak. And you know what happened? Brahma got attracted to his own daughter. And Brahma started chasing all the rishis and munis, telling Brahmaji, what happened? What are you doing? Brahmaji was so much overcome by lust, he started chasing his own daughter. And all the rishis prayed to Lord, oh Lord, please correct the mentality of Brahmaji. And then by Lord's mercy, by the prayers of the devotees, Brahmaji gave up that mentality. And in that purport, Srila Prabhupada is writing, how could an elevated personality like Brahmaji got overcome by lust? And Prabhupada explains, because on that day morning, he did not hear Srimad Bhagavatam from Lord Vishnu. Every day when Brahma gets up, he hears Srimad Bhagavatam from Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And then he starts creation. So one day he missed Srimad Bhagavatam. His mind was overcome by lust. So we should know how much careful we should be Only Bhagavatam can protect us. Discussing Srimad Bhagavatam in the association of devotees will sharpen our intelligence and we can resist the temptations of this Maya. And if our intelligence is not sharpened, we'll easily fall prey to the temptations of this material world. This material world, it looks very glamorous, very attractive, but nothing inside. So that way, we have to be very, very careful. We shouldn't get cheated. So only Bhagavatam can save us. Okay. Thank you very much. I'll stop here. I think I've exceeded time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dhanyavad.
Prabhuji, can I take few questions if you have
Yeah.
time? So, Prabhuji, first question is from Divya Mataji. She is asking,
Your voice is
being,
very dim. I mean,
am I audible now, Prabhuji?
you are audible, but very faint. You can speak loudly. Maybe my computer has some problem.
Okay. So, first question is from Divya Mataji, Prabhuji.
Ah,
Actually, being in this material world, we get hurt by the actions of devotees sometimes. Because of that, the faith in devotees and seva bhav may get lost. So,
hmm.
Prabhuji, how not to get impacted with strict behavior of devotees and not to get hurt?
Yeah. So you see, we all are practicing devotees, and it's maybe possible someone has misbehaved with us. It's possible because we all are struggling. We are in the modes of passion and ignorance, mostly, don't mind. I'm talking about myself. So it may happen, some devotee misbehaved with me. We should say, okay, no problem. I'll tolerate it. We are in the hospital. In a hospital, in the night, whole night, one patient was coughing. Cough, cough, cough. What will do with that patient? Get up and beat him? Why are you disturbing me? Foolish man, you're disturbing my sleep. No, we can't beat that person. I have to just tolerate because next nights I may cough, I may disturb his sleep, then he has to tolerate. Similarly, we all are struggling sadhakas. If someone has misbehaved out of his mode of passion or ignorance, we should just let it go. And we should feel that it is all because of my karma. And Krishna wants me to become more tolerant, more humble, and continue with my devotional service. This kind of test will surely come. Don't expect once I started chanting, everyone will start behaving very nicely with me. Don't expect that. You know? Okay.
So, Prabhuji, next question is from Abhay God Chandra Das, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
He is asking, as before you said, Bharat Maharaj so-called fall down is by will of the Lord.
Yeah.
And one side it is said he was no association of Guru and Shastra.
Yeah.
How to know this part?
Yeah. Because all these pastimes can be understood at different levels. Okay. They have multi layers. So, because real reason, esoteric reason is will of the Lord. But for our understanding, for getting instructions, this pastime is showing us we should never remain alone. We should always follow the instructions of Guru. The time was less. I'll just show you one purport, if it will help you. This is one sec. Yeah, next sec. Bharat Maharaj, Jad Bharat tells his past. Aham Pura Bharato Nam Raja. I was Raja King Bharat, and I was then became a deer. So now I've fallen down into this, and then Prabhupada is writing in this purport. See, the incident herein described is very significant in the if one always, when it is highlighted, if one always follows the orders of the spiritual master, there is no question of falling down. As soon as a foolish disciple tries to overtake his spiritual master or becomes ambitious to occupy his post, he immediately falls down. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado, yasya prasadat nagati kutopi. If the spiritual master is considered an ordinary man, the disciple surely loses his chance to advance further. Despite a very rigid life in devotional service, Bharat Maharaj did not consult a spiritual master when he became overly attached to deer. Consequently, he became strongly attached to the deer and forgetting his spiritual routine, he fell down. Okay. So these are the instructions we get from the pastimes, but there are some esoteric reason also. Esoteric reason is that it is the will of the Lord and it is included in Srimad Bhagavatam to give instructions to all of us. Okay.
Next question, Prabhuji, from Priyasa Mataji.
Yeah.
She's asking, someone or something in this world, is that Maya? Sorry, Prabhuji, I'm starting from start. Whatever we feel something, any virtuous for someone or something in this world, is that Maya? Are our feeling and emotions Maya? Can we neophyte like us preach with near and dear or close communities? What type of people should we preach?
Okay. Maya means forgetting Krishna. Simple. So when we are not remembering Krishna, we are in Maya. Okay. So any thoughts, any situation, any circumstances, any place which makes us forget Krishna, that is Maya. Okay. So whom should we preach? Should we preach to our nearest and dearest one? Surely we should preach, but without attachment. It's not that he is my brother, he is my sister, he is my wife, husband. He has to become a devotee. No, may or may not, may or may not. So just karmanyevadhikaraste mahaphaleshu kadachana. Just try your best and leave the result to Krishna. Don't get attached. Okay. Next, Prabhu.
Next question is, sometimes due to our past conditioning, we get attached in spirituality also with some devotees or opposite genders and
Yeah.
forget that we are meant to serve Krishna and remove Krishna from our center of the relationship. So, how can we deal with this thing, attachment with a devotee or opposite gender?
Yeah. So if you're getting attached to a opposite gender, so that is basically because of bodily consciousness. So it's natural because we are used to this kind of attachments. So then we have to formalize that relationship. You know, boy and girl, if you're getting attached, then they should marry and practice in such a way that gradually they become overcome their bodily consciousness. But if this attachment is out of marriage, then forget it. You know, then it's very, very dangerous. So this illicit desire has to be given up. Then we have to resist that temptation. And with your practices, we have to overcome this. Okay.
Yes, Oji. One or two questions last, Oji. So, next is, you mentioned to tolerate the inappropriate behavior from other devotees by tolerating and understanding it to be our karma. But if such exchange is disturbing our sadhana, we are not elevated yet to tolerate, then what to do and be consistent?
Then, we can go to a senior Vaishnava with whom we have relationship and trust and reveal our mind. Devotees will help us to tolerate. Don't go around and tell everyone, this person has done that to me, this person has done this to me. That won't help us. That will even aggravate our situation. Go to a mature devotee in whom we have trust and relationship and reveal our mind. And more we advance in Krishna consciousness, more we'll be able to tolerate. Okay. Anyone? Anything else, Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, last question is from Lalit Pandey, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
He is asking that, my question is that how to balance the material world and our spiritual life, as you have said that one should not take Maya lightly. If
Yeah.
we can fare from Maya, then it might be possible that it will be affect our spiritual life too.
If we have fear of Maya,
Yes, Oji. If we can fare from Maya, then it might be possible that it will be affect our spiritual life too.
means negatively spiritual life.
Yes, Prabhuji.
See, fear of Maya is a healthy fear. Fear of Maya doesn't mean that we see someone and start running away. Oh, Maya, 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 Bhago. No, it's not like that. No, we don't have to act like that. Prabhupada said, in the public, we have to act like a gentleman. So we should be behaving very nicely with everyone. And we should leaving a nice impression means a Krishna conscious. The person should, whomsoever we meet, we should try to elevate that person's consciousness. Okay, so that kind of mentality we should have. So you should have a healthy fear of Maya. Means Maya, I said, is forgetting Krishna. We should be very, I may never forget Krishna. So I should avoid those situations, those persons, those circumstances which make me forget Krishna. So I should be fearful and alert of such situations. And that will help me to progress in spiritual life. So how to balance my material life and spiritual life? We go to offices, we do business dealings, no problem. We do some official dealings, business like dealings we'll do, but we won't give our heart. you know it's not that we should not work efficiently in our office or in our business. All kinds of dealings we'll keep on doing, but we won't deal in such a manner that we forget Krishna. We keep our heart with Krishna only official dealings, that's all. Right?
Yes, Rosie. So, yes, Rosie, that was the last question.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
so thank you, Rosie, for being with us for 2 days and guiding all of us, all the neophyte devotees. Actually, I am a neophyte devotee, neophyte, every new day, new fight. So, Rosie, please, thank you. A very, very humble request to your lotus feet that please guide us that how you are serving Srila Prabhupada mission for so many years and you are still continuing to do so, preaching the glories of Bhagavatam. So please help us also to do the same to fulfill the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and to please Srila Prabhupada. As I have heard from the Vaishnavas that our ultimate aim is not to reach Krishna but to approach the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada so that he may take us to Krishna. And how you are serving Prabhupada Prabhuji with from your core of your heart, from lifelong. Please bless us and neophyte devotees like us who is fighting every day, every moment with Maya just to get out of her clutches. So Prabhuji, please
Thank you.
bless so that I can serve a little like you, Prabhuji.
That's a very glorious fight. If you're fighting with Maya every day, every moment, it's a very glorious thing. And may all your words become true. You know. So I also become free, you also become free, we all advance together. That's all we all hope. And we all are dependent on the mercy of the Vaishnava and Srila Prabhupada. And we all are so fortunate to be in the moment of Srila Prabhupada. But we should preserve this mercy. We should not let this mercy go away. We should keep this mercy very, very carefully, gratefully, and distribute this mercy. So Srimad Bhagavatam, regular study of Srimad Bhagavatam will help us to always remain focused and we can always protect ourselves from the dangers of Maya. So thank you very much to all of you, and for especially to ISKCON Bhagavat Mahavidyalaya for giving me this opportunity to serve on 2 days in this wonderful marathon. So if I have said anything wrong or harsh, please forgive me. And I really relished the association of all of you. All of you are very patient and good hearers. And let's all pray for each other that we can make all these lives perfect. Once again, Vancha Kalpatrubhescha, Kripa Sindhubhescha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namah, Ananta Koti, Vaishnav, Vrinda Ki Jai,
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
His gaze Rukmini Krishna Prabhu ki Jai. So devotees, there is a small announcement for you. So we are end of the week. Tomorrow we'll be completing your first week and tomorrow there will be a quiz of first chapter. So I hope everyone received the message in the community. So today we will be completing our first chapter and the verses number are from 19 to 23. So almost all the verses has been covered by today. So tomorrow there will be a quiz. There will be no verses and everyone is mandatory to give the quiz through the form. Actually, we are having 4,300 plus registrations. So we are expecting that 99% plus devotees will give the quiz. So it will help you. The quiz is meant for all of you so that we can get a clarification that all of you hear attentively and read attentively. So please fill the form. Okay, fill the quiz. Okay, it will be beneficial for you. And for every week, like we will be continuing for 3 weeks. So you will get three quiz every week. It will be on Thursday, every Thursday. So we will be completing the verses or chapters within 6 days, and on the seventh day there will be a quiz. And the language of the quiz will be in English, as the session is in English only. So prepare yourself. There is full day. So prepare for the quiz, and tomorrow at the same time of 7:30 to 10, you will receive a Google form where you will have to submit your messages. And devotees, a small request from ISKCON Bhagavad Mahavidyalaya. If you want to serve ISKCON Bhagavad Mahavidyalaya, there is a small request. Actually, we had a target to 5,000 devotees to join this marathon, but till now we achieved 4,300 students. So it is a request to you that at least you bring one devotee along with you. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, last yesterday I was reading. So he says, "Whoever preach my glories is very dear to me," and you all know whoever preach about Krishna is very dear to him. Prabhupada also said. So please bring at least one devotee with you. We have 4,300 students. So at least if 10% of the devotees bring one devotee along with them, so we will be having our target to be completed. So devotees, whoever hearing these sessions, so please, it is a kind request to bring at least one devotee along with you. Register themselves in our IBMB portal. You all have the link, I hope. Okay. So please get the link and send it to your fellow devotees and communities so that they can also register and be a part of this marathon. We have not run too long because it is only 6 days and we have to complete more 15 days. So please bring 700 devotees if possible. It is by today. Then tomorrow we'll be having 5,000 devotees association. And a very, very happy Krishna conscious Satya Ekadashi to all of you. Have a proper sadhana and proper diet today also. So Hare Krishna and devotees. Dhanavad.